Hi guys, this is TheRunningManZ. Thanks very much for checking out this video. Yesterday the devs put up a new stress test build showing the new content that they're adding to 0.63, so that included the M4, the Mosin PU scope, scopes for the AKs and scopes for the M4s as well, I believe. Didn't find all of that, but I have got some footage of a couple of things for the AKM, including a new red dot sight that I've never seen before. It's newly added to the game. It started off with everybody spawning in a PvP kind of test, with everyone with Mosins at the airfield. So I'm going to show you some footage of the Mosin in action with the PU scope. Later on I'm going to show you the new scopes for the AKM as well. Through the course of the Mosin footage I'm going to share some feedback with regards to the current condition of 0.63. So things about ranging and a couple of bugs that I found. And also the way that reloading works with the Mosin and how it will work with the SKS. You know, the way that the loading works has changed, and I'm going to talk about that through the course of this footage. So I've got kind of like one life on this stress test with the Mosin to show you some shots, show you how the scopes look. They look really nice. They work really, really well. But through the course of that, I'm going to narrate a little bit of feedback in terms of how it works, and a few pointers for the future of the game that you really need to bear in mind if you want to use a Mosin or guns like an SKS. Thanks a lot for checking out this video, guys. I'll speak to you later on in this one. You do seem to have to aim slightly right of your target, or if you want to aim at the right edge of your target, then you seem to hit. That hit. So in other words, don't range. Those good guys were just up on this hill here. Ah. That hit. That hit as well. It doesn't feel like ranging works at all to me. I think you're better off just leaving it at 100 and shooting. That's two people, it can't be one. You can't shoot a Mosin that quick. Not even if you had two. See two people in the woods over there. I think that might be the two that we were shooting at before. Another guy running in, they're going to shoot him. Shit. Now I can't run. I can't run, but how can I hold shift and run? How can I hold shift when I'm holding button number 1? How am I meant to shift run? So this is something that's changed a lot. You just see me talking about it there as I'm working it out. With the new patch, everything that you do in DayZ is push and hold. So if you want to eat food, you have to hold a button down to eat the food. As soon as you release the button, you stop eating. Same goes for loading bullets in a mag and so on. When you load the Mosin, it's exactly the same process. So if you put your, as I do, I put my reload button on number 1, hotkey number 1. When I press button 1, in the old versions of DayZ, you just tapped it once and 5 bullets go into the Mosin. In the new patch, you tap it once and nothing happens, the bullets go into your hand. If you hold it down for half a second, 1 bullet will go into the gun, but if you release, then that's it. The animation stops, you've put 1 bullet in. If you want to load 5 bullets in at a time, you have to push and hold it in for the full time that you're doing that. So you have to push and hold for the whole time, and then the 5 bullets go in the gun, like I did at the start of this video. I'll just show you the clip again. So I timed this in Vegas, and it takes about 6 seconds to load a Mosin. All the time I'm having to press button 1 to load these bullets in as I'm doing there. So what that means for the game is that compared to the old patch where you just tapped 1 and 6 bullets went in, or 5 bullets went in, and it may have took about 6 seconds, but you only have to tap 1 for a split second and the bullets start going in. The huge implications for the game with that are that going forwards, when you need to reload, if you're holding a hotkey to reload, either button 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, whatever you're comfortable with, you have to use one of your WASD hands to use a hotkey. There's just no alternative, you know. If you're a keyboard and mouse player, you have to use WASD mostly. You get intuitive with that. The hotkeys are quite easy to get to for a split second. They're quick keys, aren't they? They're meant to be quick, right? It's called a quick bar, right? Quick bar, hot bar. But if you're pressing button number 1 for 6 seconds, what you're not doing is leaning left or strafing left or running with shift, because if you're pressing button number 1 with what would be your wedding ring finger, you can't then press shift with your little finger because there's not enough room. Similarly, if you put it onto button number 3 or 4, you can't strafe right or lean right, you know. So if you're reloading at the moment, as it is in the new game, you have to hold it. The term quick bar is not really applicable, you know. It's not quick, it's 6 seconds to reload. Now that might sound negative, but what it does mean is that it makes reloading clips far more useful. So if you think of guns like the SKS and the Mosin, for a long time in the game these have been available, but they've never been any use. Going forwards, they're going to be essential items in the game. So reloading a Mosin in a firefight, you can't sprint. If you have it on button number 1 like me, you won't be able to sprint at the same time as reloading. You won't be able to strafe or lean left. It will mean that perhaps if you have a mouse with enough buttons, like I intend to put button number 1, my primary reload button, I'm just going to put it on my mouse so that I can still sprint, I can still lean left and right and so on. I'll just make the controls comfortable for me so that I can then still reload properly whilst moving around freely. If I take the reload function off my left hand, then it will be comfortable and fluid for me. But that is a problem for the game, I think, because people will just make controls to get around it, but the default settings are not ideal, I don't think. I think push and hold, it's debatable whether it works or not, but one thing it definitely does is it makes clips, looting clips, really, really worthwhile. So it's something that you really need to think about. That's enough of that. Let's shoot this dude over here. Where is he? Did I kill the dude over there? I think I did. That's it as far as kills footage goes with the Mosin. I know that's quite a lot of talk about reloading and the way that it works, but I think it's something that was really worth exploring in detail, because you're all going to need to bear that in mind if you play DayZ. I did find a couple of scopes for the AKM and an M4. The M4 is not much different. I didn't really get to fire it, but I want to show you the scopes that I found for the AKM because they were really cool. So have a look at those now, and then after that we're going to have a look at a couple of mechanics that have changed for this patch, a bug with the aim in, and also the way that the guns are rendered when you aim down sight. Oh, what's that? It's not got a name, but I think that's an RV1 sight, isn't it? I think that's a sight. I don't think it's a sight for this, is it? Holy hell, look at that! New things! Does it actually give us any more zoom? How big is that bin? How am I going to gauge this? I don't think it gives you any zoom, does it? It looks like it's the same. You've got a different sight. So it seems like it's like the same kind of... It's no zoom at all. Can you do the eye zoom with that scope? Yeah. PSO1 scope. Oh, that is so cool. They're ending the stress tests. Alright, well in that case, let's just quickly... Ranging seems to actually work on those, alright. Through the course of the playtest, I noticed that I was shooting slightly left, so when I was aiming, if I aimed on target, it didn't hit, but if I aimed a little bit right of the target, the bullet was always going left. So I did a little bit of testing, and the reticle is actually off. The PU scope is not aligned with the iron sight. You can see it there. The Mosin iron sight is a little to the left of the reticle. So I came down this hill. I was messing around with the jumping. I'll just quickly show you that because the new jumping has been added. And then I'll show you the test that we did to sort of just show. The devs are aware of this. The sights aren't aligned. They are going to be changed, but it's something to bear in mind in the current stress tests if you enter one. Can I show the jump? I surely can. Let's just try and jump at something. I don't know if I can jump on top of that. Could jump over it, look. Look at that, eh? So if we try hitting one of these posts, that would be a good thing to try, won't it? And my stamina's back. See, that missed. Yeah, see? I'm having to aim right to hit the target. So there is something wrong. You want to get a headshot in this game right now, don't aim at the head, aim to the right. That missed. I was aiming at the right edge of that post and it missed. It's something that's worth knowing for now, but it's weird that, isn't it? The last thing I want to show you is a depth of field effect that they've added to the guns. Now, my reaction to it as I saw it for the first time with an AKM was not exactly positive, but I'm going to leave in my reaction because it's just the first gut feeling that I had. I've checked with Peter Nespesny. This is an intended feature. I was suggesting it was a bug as I was seeing it. It's not. Now, it's something you get used to, and Peter, when I asked him, and he did reply, luckily, for me, he did say that they're looking potentially at improving it, and it's not quite as visually pleasing as he would like, so there is changes potentially afoot to this, but it's something I'm not really convinced about myself personally. I'm not a fan of it. You know, most of everything else in the patch I can really appreciate. The reloading, it's a bit of a ball ache, but if you've got to loot clips, then that's good. You know, it's good that the clips have a purpose. But this one I can't quite get my head around. You know, I understand it might give you a bit of a realism factor, but it just looks weird. If you look at these sights as I aim at different things, sometimes there's like a ghosting effect and it just looks weird. I don't think it works personally. I think it makes my eyes go funny. I think it's going to make you less likely to aim down sight. This kind of depth of field effect when you've got a scope looks lovely. With the PU scope it's lovely and so on. Just being focused on what's inside the circle of your scope seems to work, but a depth of field blurring on a gun where you've got different levels, and like with the AKM sights, the things either side of the AKM sights are out of focus and it makes your eyes go funny. I don't think it's a really good thing. But anyway, this is it. I'm going to leave you with it. It's probably leaving on a negative, I suppose, but it's something I noticed. I think it's important to share these things and let you know how the game is. Thanks a lot for checking out the video, guys. This was my reaction the first time I saw it. As I say, it is going to be changing by the look of it, but this is as it is right now. Oh, that is... What is that? Why is the gun not... I don't understand. I think that's a bug. That has to be a bug. It surely is a bug. That'll definitely encourage you to aim down sight. everybody needs glasses. It must be a bug, that. Look at the gun, Joe Alf. I don't know if maybe you can't see it so well, but the gun is not rendered in. It's blurred. It's all blurred. My hand is rendered in, but the gun is not. So my hand has got textures. The gun is all blurry.